14th August, 1949. At 5 p.m., Dr. P. Rama Rao, the Madras radiologist, came and stuck radium needles in a wax and molded it over Maharshi's wound and bandaged the arm with plaster of Paris, so that even if the hand moved, the radium mold would not be disturbed. He applied it with mathematical accuracy, the larger and more powerful needles in the center, the smaller and weaker ones towards both ends of the mold. The radium needles were encased in gold containers. The first and second most potent needles are deadly, and although encased in hard gold, they are handled only with a pair of tongs. The age of each needle is estimated between 200 and 400 years. The healing process has not yet started, although 7 days have already passed since the operation day, due, it is said, to the Maharshi's low vitality. The doors of the hall continue to be closed. Prostrations are being done outside the south door. 15th August, 1949. In honor of the Independence Day, the attendant Krishnaswamy today opened the doors of the hall and let people in for prostration only on his own responsibility. 18th August. At 5:40 a.m., Dr. Shankar Rao, the ashram doctor, removed the radium mold and found healthy granulations in the epithelium, which is the sign of healing. Confidence of complete cure is entertained if no growth will reappear within a month. The doors of the hall remain open only for prostrations since the 15th, and Sri Maharshi's food is given to him on a table placed level with his couch in the darshan hall. He continues to think of the devotees who may be missing him at mealtime, and yesterday inquired, "When am I to have my food in the dining hall with the others?" About 3:30 p.m., Dr. Rama Rao came from Madras with his family, saw the wound, and said that no prognosis could be made before 3 weeks had elapsed. 24th August, 1949. This evening, the Parayanam, the chanting of the Vedas, stopped since a few weeks, is resumed, and will continue henceforward. Sri Bhagavan's health permitting, morning and evening as before, during which devotees are allowed to sit in the hall. For the first time since the 6th of August, the big bell in the ashram temple rang this evening during the puja time. The Sri Maharshi looks well and walks fast enough, but to my eyes he looks much thinner than before this last operation. Sometimes he jokes with the attendants. The pain which he has been feeling during and before the radium application is subsiding, relieved to some extent by the hot water bottles applied. Since some days, a baby leopard is brought to the ashram in the evening and taken to Maharshi, who pats and looks at it intently. The Sarvadakari, the ashram manager, is very fond of it and expresses his love by slapping it hard on the back, and then rewards it with 3 cups of milk, which it avidly laps like a cat. 27th August, 1949. Maharshi's wound, which has been clean and healing for some days, started sloughing again. At 4:30 p.m., Dr. Raghavacharya and his assistants closed the hall for about 1.5 hours and removed a small quantity of it, this sloughed off infection that had been dying, which they took with them for examination in Madras. Sri Maharshi's emaciation in the neck and legs is daily increasing. 29th August. Sri Maharshi composed a verse in Tamil over which an English lady devotee grew very jubilant and looked forward to reading it in the English translation, taking it to be a hymn in the praise of the Lord of creation. It turned out to be a laxative recipe, which Maharshi had written with his own hand in 10 long lines. Bhagavan is bubbling with joy over it and is showing it to everybody like a schoolboy who has written his first poem. 11th September, 1949. Today is the last of the 48 days of the Surya Namaskar prayer, recommended by Dr. Guru Swami for the recovery of Sri Maharshi's health. Every day it has been read in the ashram's Veda Patasala by special Brahmins. But today, being the closing day, it has been recited in the hall immediately after the usual daily prayer and has taken 2 hours to finish, from 7:40 to 9:40 a.m. It consists of 132 hymns taken from the Yajur Veda. We immensely enjoyed listening to it. It has a sweet rhythm and has been read with fervor and well synchronizing voices by 7 Brahmin youths led by their teacher. Sri Bhagavan looks better, and the wound is said to be healing, though very slowly, which raised our hopes for a complete recovery. Probably the uplifting tunes of the Yajur Veda recitation had something to do with this optimism. 24th September 1949. The old Mudalai lady, Pati, who has been daily serving Maharshi with rice cooked in her own house and at her own expense for 40 years, passed away at about midnight. As soon as the news of her death reached Sri Maharshi, he started talking about her and went on the whole day, telling her story from 1908, 1 year after Echamal came, when she first came to him in Virupaksha cave, upwards, and how she stuck to him all these years with unflagging devotion and wholehearted service. He inquired about the place of her burial, and when told that it would be in the Hindu general burial ground, he said that it should be in the place where she died. His order had to be obeyed, and a pit was dug within that compound, which is not far from the ashram proper. Her body was made to sit cross-legged in yoga asana, padmasana, as it is customarily done to the bodies of sannyasins, then garlanded with flowers and sprinkled with sacred ash and camphor, and finally buried for final rest.